Hello learners, I Dr. Niradhar, faculty member, School of Education, Indira Gandhi National Open University, welcome you all to this video program. Today our topic of discussion is appropriateness of subjects in curriculum at different stages of school education. In our earlier video program, we have already discussed that different curriculum framework. At the same time, we have also discussed that how to organize subjects in school curriculum. So, what are the different aspects, what are the different concerns are there, what are the different issues are there that we address when we organize subjects in school curriculum. We have already discussed, and relating to that content, relating to that concept, here in this program, in this video program, we will discuss that the appropriateness of subjects in curriculum at different stages. So, here our focus will be on different stages of school education and how we design what are the appropriateness of the subjects, what concept, what philosophy that should go in different subject so far as different stages of school education curriculum is concerned. So, friends, let us go forward just to get an information that we are presently in the 6th week. We are in the 6th week of this online course, Understanding Disciplines and Subjects, and we are also at present in 6th module. Okay, so we are discussing the module 6, and title of the 6th module, that is Organizing Subjects in School Curriculum part 1. Your 7th module will be part 2, and in the 6th module is part 1. And as per the design, we have included 2 video programs in the 6th module. First is basis of organizing subjects in school curriculum. We have already discussed in our earlier video program, and in this program, the second video program that that is included, we will discuss, that is appropriateness of subjects in curriculum at different stages of school education. So, friends, now let us focus upon the learning outcomes, that after going through this video program, what objectives, what learning outcomes you are supposed to achieve. So, friends, after going through this video program, at the same time the e-text or the PDF form of learning material which is given, which you have received in this online course of the 6th module, then you will be able to explain why different subject wise syllabi are drawn up for different levels of school education, and further you will be able to describe how selection of content is made to design syllabi in different subject areas. So, try to understand. Your first learning outcome is to explain why different subject wise syllabi are drawn up for different level of school education, at the elementary level, at the secondary level, and at the senior secondary level, or you can say at the higher secondary level, that how subject wise syllabi are designed, and further how we select the content. So, you will be able to describe the selection of the content in different subject, okay, at different stages of school education. I am sure that after going through this video program, after watching this video program, at the same time after reading the e-text, okay, which is given in the PDF form, you will be in a position to achieve these 2 learning outcomes. So, friends, let us go forward. So, here I have to recapitulate what is discussed in the earlier video program, because this is also somehow related with the earlier concepts that we have discussed, that is basis of organizing subjects in school curriculum. So, friends, here when we organize subjects in school curriculum, our first base, or the base that we follow, that is for vertical and horizontal mobility of the children, of the students. Vertical mobility means how the content areas will be included in the subject in different stages of school education. That means at the elementary stage, at the secondary stage, and at the senior secondary stage. What content of social science, what content of science should be included at the elementary stage. That means specifically, if I will say that what content of mathematics or what content of history specifically should be included in class 6th, in class 7th and in class 8th, further in class 9th and 10th and class 11th and 12th. So that after completion of secondary education or senior secondary education, you will find that the basic knowledge about history, the basic knowledge about science, the students have already achieved, the students have already received. So that is for the vertical mobility. And for the horizontal mobility, you will find that so far as different subjects are concerned at a particular stage of education horizontally, just like let me to give the example that the students who are studying in the 9th standard. Okay. So, what content of mathematics they are supposed to study in the 9th standard, what content of science, what content of social science, what content of languages. Okay. It may be English literature, may be Hindi, may be Sanskrit, may be any Indian languages, you can say that what content they are supposed to study at a particular class, at a particular standard, so far as different subject is concerned, so that it should be designed according to the need, interest and developmental characteristics of the learners, of the students. So that is why when we discuss the organization of subjects in school curriculum, so our major focus is upon two types of mobility. One is the vertical mobility and other is the horizontal mobility. And further we can say that broad based general education up to the second stage of education I have already discussed in my earlier program. So again I am just focusing it because it is related with this video program or this content point. Then acquiring life skills, intelligence, emotional quotient, at the same time spiritual quotient is also equally important for organizing subjects. So when we organize subject, our focus is upon that how the learners will achieve, how the learners will develop and get competencies on different life skills. Okay. Interpersonal communication skills, empathy and other types of life skills also, because they have to live their life. Okay. After education they have to live their life. Then the ability, the mental ability of the learners. So when we organize the subject, we keep in consideration, we understand, and our consideration is on the mental development, average mental development of the learners at that stage. So this is not only the mental development, that is called as intelligence. At the same time we also concern about the emotional development, or you can say emotional quotient, or the spiritual development, how the learner perceive different subject, perceive different content, how they understand it, how they involve it emotionally in different activities. Okay. So how they accept others and how others accept, how to take the leadership. So all such things are taken consideration while we organize subjects in school curriculum. And for the social context of learning, I have already said that learning takes place in social context. Okay. That means when the learners work together, do curricular discourses in a group, then learning takes place. So that is why this is also another important aspect, as learning takes place in a social context. So that is why when we organize subjects in school curriculum, our basis should be it should be based upon the social norms, social standard, our cultural practices, our living style, our belief. Okay. Then further language and mathematical abilities should be included, because these are the certain core things, these are the certain core skill that the learners they are supposed to achieve. Okay. Further understanding diversity and marginalization. So how to address the issues of diversity. We consider that our culture is a diversified culture. In this world you will find that India is the only country where many diversities are there. It may be in the context of language, it may be our culture, our tradition, our living style, our custom, okay, our belief, our ideas. So keeping in consideration of huge diversity starting from east to west and north to south, how to address, we consider that all our diversities as our strength, not as our weaknesses. So how to achieve unity among these diversities, it should be reflected in our curriculum. So that is why when we organize subjects in curriculum, many topics many themes should be included in our curriculum that should address the strength of our diversities, the strength of our society living, okay, the strength of our languages, our dialects, our cultures, our traditions. Then further, when we organize curriculum, it should be as per the child-centered approach. This is also another base, so that the learners should get enough space from the curriculum for construction of their knowledge, and they should get a space to use their experiences that they have gained from this worldly involvement, from dealing the knowledge and experiences that they have received when they deal with the society, when they deal in the family, with the peers, with the groups, with the playmates. So that's why it should be properly, you can say, represented when we organize subjects for school curriculum. Then further, when we talk about the basis of organizing school curriculum, our focus is on general aim of education, developmental stage of the children, and nature of knowledge in general, and the curricular subject areas in particular, at the same time the socio-political context of the children. This is as per National Curriculum Framework 2005 of NCERT. So what are the general aim? What is the goal of education? Okay, you can say to develop scientific tempo, or you can say to achieve national integration, emotional integration, interpersonal relationship. Okay, so that's why how to achieve these general aims. So our curriculum should be able enough, our curriculum should have this power to help the learners, to help the students to achieve these aims. And further, the curriculum, the base of the curriculum, for organizing the school curriculum, the base is it should be developed as per the developmental stage of the children. Okay, so that is also another important concept. Then for the nature of knowledge in general and the curricular subject areas in particular. So nature of knowledge, what type of knowledge base they will develop. So far as being a student of education, we understand that the cognitive development, affective development, at the same time psychomotor development. So our curriculum should provide these three domains of knowledge, cognitive, affective and psychomotor. We should get, our learners should get knowledge, understanding, application, analysis and the skills, okay, the abilities to do something, to develop certain, you can say, hands-on activities. At the same time, they should develop a type of positive attitude, a type of a feeling, positive feeling and emotion, and whatever they are doing, they should do it wholeheartedly. Means with the knowledge, their feeling aspect, their attitude should be linked with it. At the same time, psychomotor domain, that nature of knowledge, psychomotor domain means this is the motor development, this is the development of skills and competencies. So that's why, friend, when we organize curriculum, this is also another base, that what nature of knowledge we are going to achieve from this curriculum. At the same time, another important base, that is the socio-political context, the nature of our society, our political practices, our political, you can say, our government, our form of government, the philosophy of our constitution, the political values, social values, interpersonal values, moral values, ethical values, democratic values. So all such things should be reflected in the curriculum, and these are also the basis for organizing school curriculum. So friends, be focused upon these bases. This is very much important. And further, to talk about different stages of school education, our focus is on early childhood care and education is one stage, elementary education is another stage, then secondary education is another stage, then further higher secondary education is also another stage. So 4 stages of school education that we discussed, but as per NEP 2020, the pedagogical and curricular structure of school education is now something different. It is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 system of education, but as per NCERT 2005, our focus is on these 4 stages of school education, that is early childhood care and education, elementary education, secondary education and higher secondary education. So friends, now let us focus upon how we plan the content, how we develop the curriculum, keeping in consideration of different stages of school education is concerned. So, now let us first focus upon early childhood care and education, that is called as ECCE. Friends, in early childhood care and education, you will find that the teaching learning process and the curriculum that we develop, which is highly based upon the play way method, activity oriented method, because here you will find that the little children who come into the campus of the school, so they should involve themselves in different activities and they should involve themselves in different play. So, when they are playing, when they are doing certain activities, certain rhyming, and you will find that at the same time they are also developing certain skills, they are also developing certain skills of language, skills of computation. Okay. They are also trying to understand, you can say, the dynamics of their friends, they are also trying to understand the society, and when they are working in a group, they are doing an activity within a group, they are also understanding other members of the group. So, that is why in early childhood care education, when we talk about the construction of curriculum and the school subject, you will find that these methods and these techniques are highly used. And further, use of local materials, you will find that in early childhood care education, the learners or the toddlers, you can say, they learn by using the local materials for making different types of craft and for understanding different concept of mathematics, different concept of science, social science, by using the local materials. And further, another important aspect, that is expressing themselves and familiar with immediate environment. So, they should develop enough scope, enough space to express themselves, that what they really feel. At the same time, they should also familiar with their immediate environment. Okay, what is their immediate environment, and in their immediate environment what should be their involvement. And further, individualized instruction is also important aspect, because every child is different so far as their mental ability is concerned, their achievement is concerned, their, you can say, their perception is concerned, their attitude is concerned, their aptitude is concerned, their creativity is concerned. So, especially at the early childhood care and education, at the pre-primary stage, you will find that the teachers, they contact individually with the students to understand the child, to understand the nature of the child, to understand the strength of the child, to understand the creativity of the child. And further, to discuss about elementary stage, the second stage of school education, you will find that at the elementary stage of education, the core subject are introduced. It may be in form of science, social science, mathematics and languages, but it is not there in the early childhood care education in the ECCE. Okay. In ECCE, by storytelling, by narration, by activity, by play way, by rhyming, they will learn many things. By observing, they will learn many things. But at the elementary stage, especially at the upper primary stage, you will find that the core subject are introduced, mean the learners, they will get the basic knowledge of mathematics, the basic knowledge of environmental studies, basic knowledge of social sciences, basic knowledge about the society, about the community, and at the same time languages also. They will also acquire you can say different language skills. Then further, multilingual experience, they also get multilingual experience, especially at the elementary stage of school education. Okay. So, you will find that many a time the school language and home language of the children are different. So, how the child perfectly deal properly in the school whose home language is different. So, that is why teachers should be properly oriented to deal that curriculum to you can say addressing the issues of multilingualism. And further, multiple methods and techniques are used to teach the core subjects, at the same time other areas of knowledge at the elementary stage, and further dealing inner and outer world. So, how to understand the child, what is their creativity, what is their aptitude, what is their understanding, what is their intelligence, what is their emotional intelligence, emotional quotient, okay, what is their ideas and feelings, what is their you can say what is their attitude towards teacher, towards school, towards other friends, towards students. So that's why friend, in elementary stage you will find that in the curriculum that deal with understanding the inner issues, at the same time the outer world, means the things which is happening outside the school campus of the child, is also another important aspect. Then working within the group, so how the child, how the elementary students are working within a group, taking part in different group activities, okay, how they contribute in different group. Then further to develop inclusive personality through inclusive school practices is also another important aspect, because we consider that all schools are inclusive school, and you will find that the practices which which happens in the school are mostly inclusive in nature. So that's why the learners from the very beginning of the elementary education, they should understand that our society is inclusive in nature. That's why they should develop a type of inclusive personality. They should understand others, understand the society, understand the community, so so as they can become a good citizen of this country, and accordingly they should contribute for the development, for the change, for the dynamism of the society. And further to talk about the secondary stage of school education, we can say that mostly the subject areas or the core subject areas which was included at the elementary stage, here also more or less these are also included, just like core subjects with other areas of knowledge. So here you see at the elementary stage our focus was on the core subject, but at the secondary stage you will find that with the core subject how to integrate, how to practice the other areas of knowledge, just like art and craft, health and physical education, work education, peace education, life skill education, value education, yoga education. You will find that now debate is going on that these other areas of knowledge is also one important discipline, so far as creativity, so far as knowledge base, so far as interest, abilities and aptitude of the learners are concerned. So that's why how to use, how to practice these core areas of knowledge as one independent subject. Otherwise, how to integrate these areas of knowledge in the core subject, okay, in mathematics, in science, in social science and language are the important concept. And further multilingual practices, I have already discussed that multilingual practice is important, because many a time you will find that the children, they are coming from a different language background. So that's why dealing those group of students, those are coming from a different linguistic background, it is really a challenge for the teachers to provide them optimum knowledge, optimum experiences, optimum curricular experiences and optimum understanding. And further attitude for self-learning can also be developed at the secondary stage. So that's why in our curriculum, in our school subject, when we design at this stage, so there should be space for self-learning of the students. And further we can also talk about when we organize subjects, use of contextual methods and media is also another important aspect, that what methods and media we are using for transacting curriculum in mathematics at the secondary stage, curriculum in science at the secondary stage. Okay, many a time you will find that one media is not enough. Okay, so now we are talking, after this pandemic, we are talking about why not to use multiple media in the schools. Even with face-to-face learning, you will find that this is expected that the school will come out with many media practices, to provide many media practices to the students. At the same time, how many methods, techniques, strategies, maxims can be used in curriculum. Okay, designing subject in the curriculum at the secondary stage is also another important focus. Then further self-expression and leadership is also another important aspect. First of all, you see self-learning, then self-expression, how they express themselves, how they expose themselves, how they exhibit themselves, that what is their strong point, what is their weaknesses, so that they can learn more and more things, learn new things. And leadership quality, the curriculum should provide scope to the learners to take leadership. This is also another important concept. And further focus on inclusive growth, it is also another important aspect, that anyhow the learners, they are supposed to develop a type of inclusive personality, because our society is inclusive. Okay, curriculum should provide inclusive knowledge, not exclusive knowledge. Curriculum should include the learners in different societal experiences, in different school experiences, in different curricular, or you can say different scholastic and co-scholastic experiences. So these are the certain major important aspects that should be reflected that, when we organize curriculum, when we organize subjects for curriculum. And further we can say at the senior secondary stage, again more or less it is related with the secondary stage. Here also core subject areas with other areas of knowledge are given importance. Then multilingual practices is also equally given importance. Then attitude for self-learning is also given importance, which is also included in the secondary stage. Then use of contextual methods and media, use of varieties of media, varieties of methods is also given importance. Then career goal and leadership. Here you see one of the important aspect, career goal, because when the learners, they enter at the senior secondary stage, at the higher secondary stage, then automatically a type of career goal that gets developed among the learners. So they prepare themselves to take, to construct their career and to engage in different types of professional education, different types of higher education. So that's why the curriculum or the subject should provide such sense about achieving the career goal of the learners, at the same time for achieving leadership quality also in the school, in the class. And further it should also provide opportunity for choices of streams and subjects. So how the learners, what are the factors that are responsible for the choices of subjects and streams for the learners is also another important aspect, which is very much important at the senior secondary stage. Okay, so in which stream they are supposed to study, in which subject they are supposed to study at the senior secondary stage or at the higher stage also. They should get a type of sense, a type of attitude, a type of feeling from the secondary stage of education. Then further, just to conclude, let me to give the concluding remark here. At the upper primary stage, you will find that so far as school curriculum is concerned, if I will give the example of Indian history, you will find that at the upper primary stage, minor detail can be studied, and this can be repeated with more details at the secondary stage again. And in the senior secondary stage, selected themes of world and Indian history can be taught. So here I am just giving one example. Let what content of history the learners should study, so that when school education they will complete, they will get detailed idea, the best knowledge of history so far as Indian history is concerned. At the same time, world history is also concerned. So that's why here in class 6th they can study about the ancient history, and in class 7 they can study about the medieval India history, and in class 8 they can study about the modern India history. So that in elementary stage they will get a little knowledge. Okay, that's the minor detail of these three stages of history, that is ancient, three period, ancient period, medieval period and modern period. And further when they enter at the secondary stage, again they will go through these three stages of three periods of history content with more detail, so that they can engage themselves to understand about our development, about the development of the history, about the history content. And at the senior secondary stage, no need of repeating it again. What in the curriculum, in the subject, the content should be included, selected themes and content should be included, which is important so far as world history is concerned and Indian history is concerned. So we can develop our curriculum as per the spiral approach, or as per the problem based approach, or theme based approach, or as per the unit based approach, or chapter based approach. Okay, so you will find that different approaches we can follow, we can use for developing the curriculum. For that's why for selection of content, in different subject areas. I have just given one example of history. Accordingly, an example of mathematics, example of science and social and languages can also be given. So friends, in this program, in this video program, we discuss about the curriculum and the organization of subject at different stages of school curriculum. What are the major concept, major content point that should be included at different stages of school education, so that the learners, they should get a type of knowledge base, a type of you can say a type of knowledge from a particular stages of school education. For further queries, you can just write to me niradhar@ignou.ac.in. You can make me a telephone call. You can also visit my Facebook page. You can also go through my YouTube channel as well as my Twitter handle. So friend, today we discuss about the curriculum organization of subject in curriculum at different stages of school education, and in our next program we will discuss other issues of your online course, understanding disciplines and subjects. Thank you.